Hello, welcome to today's series on business analysis with Excel, and this is Louis Damson. And today we are going to look at pivot tables and pivot charts, but they would be in two separate videos. So we are going to take a look at pivot tables and what is a pivot table used for. A pivot table is used to quickly analyze data in Excel. So if you were a data analyst, okay, and or a business analyst, and you want to quickly analyze your data to get insight, you will really need pivot tables, and you will really need to know how to manipulate pivot tables. So without wasting much time, I have a data set with me here with columns, order date, region, rep, items, unit cost, and total. So this is sort of sales data. So we have the sales rep and the items that they sold, and the unit that they sold, the cost, and the total. So we are quickly going to analyze this data using the pivot table. So if you want to activate the pivot table, I already showed you that in the overview. Okay, so you go to the insert tab, and under the insert tab you see pivot table. Okay, recommended pivot table. So if you go to recommended pivot tables, Excel will ask you for your data range. Okay, so you can click here, and you can select all your data using Control A. Okay, so you can do this and do control shift down, control shift down to select everything. So you can see that you can take your mouse, you can press control shift and then control shift down. It will select all the rows to your right, then it will select down. Okay, so you can see table 1 as the range that is selected. When I press OK, now Excel will give me recommended pivot tables that I can use. Okay, so Excel has looked at my data and is giving me suggestions of pivot tables that I can use. So sum of totals by region, then sum of unit cost by region, then sum of total by item, then sum of units by region. Okay, so there are a lot, so you can actually go through them. Okay, but this one is you can go and do this if you want an easy work, but we want to build it from the scratch. That's actually the main purpose of the class. So if you are pressed with time and you quickly want to analyze your data, you can come to recommended pivot tables and you can look at what you need. If it describes it, fine. If it doesn't describe, then I'm sorry, you have to go and create your own. Okay, so let me cancel this. Okay, all right, so I've canceled this. So now I'm going to create my pivot table. Okay, so I'll come to pivot table, and when I select it, it will still ask me for the range. Okay, so as I said, you can use this to select the rows, then you press control shift down, control shift arrow down to select the columns. Okay, why do you need that? Because if the data is plenty, you cannot use your mouse and drag it all over. It takes a lot of time. But when you use the control shift down, okay, it automatically takes it to the last row on the column. Okay, so that's actually what you are going to do. So you have selected our as you can see, Excel took me straight to the last row, which is row 44. that selected it, the range over here. Excel is asking me if I want my worksheet in a new worksheet or existing worksheet. If I should choose existing worksheet, I'll have to do the pivot table in this sheet, and I don't want that. I want a clean sheet to do that on. So I'll select a new worksheet and I'll press OK. So as you can see, this is how the pivot table looks like. Okay, so you can see here pivot table to build. So I can actually change the name here if I want. Maybe I'm doing pivot table for sales, so I can actually change the name here. Okay, so I can make it sales. Okay, so I can make it sales, so it will change over here. Then I can also come and change the sheet name over here to actually, so that anytime I look at it and you look at the workbook, I can know where the pivot table is. So then I'll make a pivot table. Okay, then I'll press enter. Let me take it to the right so that the cells will be on the left. I think it makes better for me. So now let's go to the overview. So I'm taking you to, you see, when I did the pivot table, look at this side. You see that we have the pivot table tools, you have analyze, and you have design. So you can actually design the pivot table by formatting it, doing subtotals or whatever you want to, or analyze. So we'll stay with the analyze. So you can see that we have insert slicer, we have insert timeline, pivot charts. You can see recommended. We have seen this already. So you can have field list, then field header. You can move pivot table. You can change data source, and anytime that you make changes to your data, that is the original data. I'm talking about this one. Okay, you have to come here and let me say like this. You have to come here and refresh it. Okay, so you have to come here and refresh all so that the changes will be affected in the pivot table. So let's just I want to give you a brief overview. So these are the fields. As you can see, the data that we had, the columns. The columns is what has brought that's what Excel has brought over here. Okay, so we have the order date, the region, the rep, item, unit cost, and total. Then down here we have the fields. This is where we are actually going to work. Okay, so we have the filters, we have the columns, the rows, then the calculation, which is the value. So how do I start creating my pivot table? So now what do I need to analyze? It's actually very simple. It's very easy and very simple. So just follow me and I'm sure you'll be okay. So now maybe what do I want to find? As a business analyst, you need to be intuitive, you need to be proactive, and you need to be insightful. You need to know what your customer wants, or you as a business owner, what do you want to find? Actually, what was the objective that you set out before coming to analyze the data? What are you trying to find? What are you trying to seek, or what are you seeking after? So all these things are very important when you are creating the pivot table, because that's actually what is going to direct you to create good pivot tables, to have good insight. If not, you'll be all over the place. So maybe I want to find what can I find with this table? What can I find? Maybe I want to find the region. So I'll put region in rows. So I want to find a region. Okay, so I want to find a region and maybe the items that sold well in the regions. Okay, so I'll put them in the value column. Okay, so now as you can see over here, it has analyzed it for me. So these are the regions. We have the central, east, and west. Okay, so the central, the count of items, so it's counting the items for me, because Excel knows what I want. It can sometimes predict. If it's not like that, then I can change it. So the Excel is counting the items. Okay, and it's saying that in the central parts of the country, 24 items were sold, in the eastern 13 were sold, and in the west 6 were sold. So now from just looking at the data, I know that I'm making a lot of sales in the central, and the west not so much sales. So that means that I need to maybe increase my marketing strategy in the west. People are not, because I need to find out why people are not buying from me in the western side of the country. Okay, so this is just a quick overview. Then maybe that is one thing that you can do in the with the units. Okay, maybe I want to add maybe the unit cost to it, so I'll add it also under value. Okay, so I need to calculate the sum for me. So now I know that, okay, out of the 24 items, the unit cost was 432. Maybe I don't need the unit cost, so I'll delete it. And how do you delete it? You delete it by pressing or by clicking on this small arrow over here, and it will bring this field or this tab. Then you will just remove the field. I actually come there to teach you another thing. So maybe I want the total, so maybe I'll add the total. I need to do sum of total. So that means that in the central part we sold 11,139. Okay, I can select it, go to, maybe I want it in whole number, so maybe I will just, I should have selected all. It will give me an error because of what I did. Anyways, so you know how to do that. So let me just do them manually because of so that I can have a round number. Okay, sure. So this is the sum. That means that in the central part of the district I had these sales. Okay, in the eastern I had that sale, and the western I had that sale. So now with the total class I can easily know the segment, the market segment. Okay, that the central part I know that a lot is selling there, and I know that this is the amount or the total amount of money that I had from there just by dragging. Okay, all right. So now maybe I want to know which rep did well in the central, or which rep maybe took parts in this. How are they performing? I want to know, okay, which rep is responsible for the western side that is making my sales go down. I can also add that, so I'll add that one to the filters to filter through. Okay, so this is selecting all the rep. Now I want to know what each of them, maybe I want to know what Andrew is doing, so I'll select Andrew. So now I know that Andrew is operating in the central part, and Andrew sold just 4 items. Okay, and sold, and the total sum of what Andrew sold, okay, is 438. I can also come and say that, okay, let me check what Gil, or the information for Gil, and what Gil is doing. Gil is also in the central party. He sold more than Andrew. Okay, so I can select Morgan and find out what Morgan is also selling at the central part. Okay, I really want to find who is in the eastern, the western part. Okay, so now I know that Sovino is not doing well. Sovino, why are you making the business suffer? Okay, Sovino is in the western. Sovino, so I need to go and question Sovino that why is sales weak at your side, the place that you're in charge of. Why is sales weak? So with just a simple analysis I can make decisions. Okay, I can make decisions and put someone on their toes, someone that is not working on their toes, that, hey mister, you need to work because you are making us lose money in the west. Okay, yes, a simple tool just as Excel and pivot tables, you can have that insight. So let me, now you see that when I click this, okay, you see a lot of pop-up. Okay, now let's go to the value field setting to find out. So now it's not only the sum, I can find the average. If I want to find the average, I will just come and click on this and press OK. Now you see that it has turned into the average. Now let me go and do this and select all, so that all of them will come back. Okay, so now this is the total average of the sales that, or This is the total average of the unit, or the total price that was sold, or the total cost of the items that was sold. So the unit cost and the item combined is what is going to give me the total cost of the item. So I can actually look at the sum, I can look at other things, not just I can look at the sum, I can look at the average, I can look at the maximum, which product sold. Okay, the maximum. Okay, so the maximum of total is this. I can have a look at all of them. So you just go to the value field setting, you can choose a lot, you can find standard deviation and all the things that we spoke about in the basic statistics. So I want some, so let me take it back to some. Okay, all right, so let me remove all these fields from here. Maybe I want to find out another thing. Remove field, remove field. Okay, so now maybe I want to maybe go to my reps. Okay, maybe I want my reps, and maybe I want to know who is doing well, as I said. So let me bring the total. What have you been doing? Okay, so now I can, this is what I have. Okay, this is what I have. So this is what I have. I have all these values. Now you can see that they are not in order. Okay, I can actually do that. Let me just make them into whole number. This was what I was doing earlier and I skipped. So you just select all and just like as I've done before. So now it's not I want to find the best three of these people, what they are doing. I want to find the best three, so I want to sort them out. So a pivot table, I can do that. So I want to sort from largest to smallest. Okay, so when I sort from largest to smallest, it will give me who is doing well, and in this is Kivel. Kivel is the one that is actually doing well, and followed by Parents, followed by Jardine, and other guys. Okay, so you can also decide that, okay, I want to rank these people. Maybe I want my top 3, I want my top 5, I want my top 10, to maybe to know the employee of the month, maybe to award. So I will just come to the row column. Okay, when I come to the row column, I can put it on any of them. Then I'll come to sort, sorry, filter. When I come to filter, you see top 10. Okay, when I select the top 10, I can actually reduce it. I can make it either top or bottom to know who is performing worst. But top 10, let's do top 10. So top 10, maybe I don't want top 10, I can actually change it. Okay, to maybe top 3. Then I can do items, or let me do sum, because I need who is bringing in money. Okay, so but it would sound, let me do it item by total sum. Okay, so I press OK. So now it has, Excel has filtered it for me and it showed me the top 3. So maybe when I get into chat, maybe use this one to create a chart, simple, so that your chart will not be looking all over, like it will not be looking cumbersome, or it will not be looking very weird, so that people will not read because of extreme loading of data. So you can actually so this is what pivot table is about. Okay, so you can go around them. Okay, and you'll be good. It's not something that is difficult. Okay, yeah, so thank you for watching. See you again in the next video, and please like and subscribe to my channel to encourage me to do more videos like this.